Living, Leesburg. So our theme for 2024 is a grand rising. And our focus for the month of May is from good to great to grand. The title of our talk today is A Value-Led Life. And it will be given by one of our favorite guest speakers, Reverend Dr. Ray Anderson. And if you've never heard him before, you are in for such a treat. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your day today. If you are listening and you are a mother or you play that role in someone's life, we want to wish you a happy Mother's Day. And let me add that if there's any certain celebrations or prayer concerns that you would like us to include later in our service, when we do our affirmative prayer, this is something that we call spiritual mind treatment. If you would like something included, please feel free to add that to the chat or the comments section, and Reverend Dr. Ray Anderson will make sure that that is included. So we thank you so much for taking time out of your day today to join us. Sit back, take a deep breath, and relax as we start our official welcoming video. Please join us as we create our sacred space. We set our intentions of deepening into our awareness and practice of our 5 pillars of spiritual living by lighting this candle in our virtual world. Our first pillar is sacred study, represented by the divine quality of truth. We use this pillar to recognize the importance of an open mind and the power of our minds. The second pillar is affirmative prayer, represented by the divine quality power. This pillar honors the power of prayer in our daily lives. Our third pillar is meditation and the divine quality of peace. This pillar reminds us of the importance of meditation and the peace we feel when we quiet our minds. The fourth pillar is circulation and the divine quality of life. We know that the great law of circulation works in our lives. As we give, so shall we receive. And the fifth pillar is sacred service and the divine quality of love. This pillar affirms our call to be a service to our world as we see through the eyes of love. Let us close our eyes as we bless this sacred space and our time together. As we weave each of these pillars of spiritual living into our service today, may they deepen our own spiritual practices of study, prayer, meditation, circulation, and service, expanding our minds and our hearts to the 5 divine qualities of truth, power, peace, life, and love. We also bless everyone who made our service possible today and everyone in attendance. May the energy of love that is generated here bless everyone abundantly. And so it is.
So it is.
So I invite you to get comfortable where you are. And for our meditation today, we're going to just follow me. And I invite you to just allow the breath and noticing the breath. Being comfortable where you are and settling in. And we'll just take a moment or two to follow and observe what the breath does without trying to change it or hold it or control it. And just noticing how it moves through the body. It changes. You might notice sensations that come and go with the breath. And And I recently had a physical illness, and doing this meditation helped me heal and helped me realize of the changing nature of our bodies, the changing nature of what's around us, in us, and as us. And in realizing all that changed, I realized that there's something within that is always there. So finding that stillness that's not necessarily dependent on the breath or the body's processes, but that is the ultimate of peace. And the first area I want you to direct your awareness to, you'll just indulge, is to feel into the support system of the body. Includes the bones and the skeleton. And as you acknowledge this, imagine, if you would, a feeling of appreciation or gratitude for the support in your body. And if you'd like to even take that appreciation outside the body, maybe there's a person that you would like to thank for being supportive in your life. Just give them an extra little blessing. And on the other side, think of the ways that you support other people. You support yourself, and you might support somebody in your words, your actions, your work. So just giving gratitude to yourself and to that other person. And the next area is focusing on the breath, the air that is moved through the body. Just noticing what's happening with that breath. Feeling the expansion and the contraction. And like the breath, things move in and out of our lives. It's a good practice to just let them go, like the breath moving out of the body. Think of what you take in, what messages and what beliefs that you've taken in to yourself, and then maybe what you can release. Or maybe there's some sentiment that you wish to release into the world, whether it be peace or kindness or compassion or gratitude. And the next area of the body is the blood and the fluid of the body. Just being aware of the circulatory system of your body as it transports nutrients and oxygen to every system in your body, giving it a little bit of gratitude. And the flow of the body, think about ways that you have flowed through life, the way that life is like sometimes like a river where you flow into different areas and you maybe have an experience and you move on. And with that final breath out, just imagining that that gratitude goes out and supports you and others throughout your day. Thank you.
Thank you. My mother taught me many scriptures and how to pray her way. And so today, this song is in gratitude for her lessons, sharing what she knew. By the still waters, I go to meet my guide. Truth restores my soul, I never walk alone. Where I face shadow, my heart will know no fear. Nothing can compare to peace that fills my soul. Love is all I need. My heart is filled with love. My cup is running over, over and over. From the moment that I rise to the time I lay me down, I will set my heart on sharing love. In the cool meadow, life greets me with a song. And in every voice I know I hear my own. Rare, sweet silence, I keep you here in me. And in every step, I never walk alone. Love is all I need. My heart is filled with love. My cup is running over, over and over. From the moment that I rise to the time I lay me down, may I set my heart on sharing love. My heart is filled with love. My cup is running over, over and over. From the moment that I rise to the day I lay me down, may I set my heart on sharing love. I have set my heart on sharing love.
Put your hands together. Come on now. Show Leah some love. Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you, everyone in front of the scenes, behind the scenes, on the side of the scenes, everybody that makes this divine thing called Sunday service possible. Blessings to everyone who is a mom, has that mom energy, and all of what it means to be the divine in expression. It is great to be with you once again, CSL Leesburg. So, what are we talking about today? You said what? Oh, we're talking about values. What about them? Oh, well, let's start with that. Remember, there was a time when I was a public school teacher. So the public school teacher in me is being channeled right now. So if I were to ask you the $1 million question, what are your core values? Give me 3 core values that guide you, that inspire you, that whatever. What are your core values? For those of you on Facebook, YouTube, here in Zoom, feel free to put them in the chat if you want to. Now, once you have an idea of what those core values are, if I ask you this follow-up question, how exactly do those core values show up in your life, moment by moment, day to day, etc.? For example, if someone were to say, I value peace or peacefulness, or I value clear communication, how does that show up moment by moment, day to day, especially when challenged with someone who doesn't share the same core value? When someone doesn't share the value of solitude and silence, would you stop poking me and tapping me? I'm in my core value of solitude and silence. Oh, like what do? How do we, no matter what is going on around us, still stay aligned with the core values that we choose to live by? There's no way we can move from, now I know the monthly theme is moving from good to great to grand. But what if you're not even at good yet? What if you're still at meh, so-so? Okay, how do we get from meh, so-so to good? Oh, wait, let's go even further, because some of us, we know that there are some people right now on this planet who aren't even so-so. They are feeling bad. They are feeling trauma. They are feeling pain. How do we get as a collective from that to this, to good, to great, to grand? A huge part of it is living from, with, and as that which we value. That's the only way we're going to be able to do it. It has to be not only something we are aware of, but it has to be something we practice and something we embody. Breathe. Breathe with that cleansing breath that Kristen guided us in during meditation. Breathe and come back to this space of your divine power. Reverend Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith reminds us, just as the alchemist transforms stuff, as the alchemist of your own life, find that frequency that you want to experience. What is that frequency? Find that frequency that you want to experience in your life and place your attention there. And as it becomes your perception, as it becomes your awareness, as it becomes the guiding force and you live from that space, then your experience changes. Breathe. Because I know it's a challenge. I know it's a challenge. Moment by moment, day by day, especially once again, when we look around at the various things that are happening all around us. But that stuff cannot change if we are not also individually changing our own lives. See, when I, as someone who cares for the earth, connect with Aaron as someone who cares for the earth, then the energy of caring for the earth is now doubled. And so on, until such time as that contagious energy transforms the collective consciousness. As Eric Butterworth says, there is a hidden genius. Pause. How many of us recognize that we are a genius. We say things like, you know, I'm not good with names. I can't balance a checkbook. I'm not good. I'm not smart enough I can't even draw a circle or a straight line. I couldn't draw a stick figure. I couldn't carry a note in the bucket if somebody carried the bucket for me. How many times do we downplay the divine genius that we are? So back to Eric Butterworth says, there is a hidden genius in each person, which we each give expression to through commitment, through discipline, through enthusiasm, and our passion. What are you passionate about? How does your discipline show up? I'm sure y'all don't think, so I don't know who all on here is a musician. I know that there are three, Aaron, Dan, and Leah. And I can guarantee you that they have put in and continue to wax on, wax off. Like once you reach a black belt, you don't like, ooh, I'm done. The black belt continues to train. So how does discipline show up in your life? The pillars that we went over at the beginning of service. How are we practicing them? Because the whole idea of a pillar is it supports and holds up the life that we are living. How does our commitment and our conviction and our enthusiasm and our passion show up? How is our genius, that divine genius? There is only one mind, and that mind is God, and that mind knows all. That mind is infinitely creative. That mind, fill in the blank, and that mind is your mind now. There is no way that you could not be considered a genius. Now, we may not know what that genius specifically is in expression, but it doesn't mean it's not there. So how are your core values aligned with and showing up in, through, and as your divine genius? Not all of us are meant to be Einstein. Einstein is Einstein. Michelangelo is Michelangelo. Leah is Leah. That which is God has incarnated itself, individualized itself in, through, and as each of these magnificent beings. And what it does, there is only one life, and that life is God. And how that life shows up in, through, and as each of them is how it shows up in, through, and as each and every one of us. So rather than, oh, I wish I could play the guitar like Dan. Well, if you want to learn how to play the guitar, ask Dan to teach you. But don't try to be Dan. Be you. Be your own divine expression and value you. Sometimes we get so lost in trying to compare ourselves to the Joneses, and you know, their grass in their yard is so much greener than my grass, and they're so much richer than, and they're so much prettier than. Pause, because when we do that, we are denying our inherent value as the universe expressing itself. So if we were to anthropomorphize this for a minute, what we're basically doing is saying, God, I know you created me in your image and likeness, and I don't like it. I would have rather you made me taller, more buff, or something. Considering you could have done anything, why did you make me like this? I can't sing. I can't dance. I can't paint. You need to do better. Does that even sound right? No. Our invitation is to learn how to value ourselves in the same way that if someone gave you the chapstick of King Arthur, don't ask me, and we highly value it because it is magical. It is the holy grail of chapstick. Oh my goodness, my lips are so soft now. And we value it, and we place it upon the altar of great value in a glass case with lasers that even Mission Impossible can't get, because we value it. Do we value ourselves to that degree? Do we value ourselves to such a degree because of who and what we are, that we take care of ourselves? We give ourselves rest when we need and want rest? Or are we so bound by the constraints of culture and society that we are weighed down, that we are unable to truly appreciate and have gratitude for our own lives, our own infinite potential, our own talent and skills as the universe expressing? Dr. Holmes says, releasing the weight of the past. Oh man, did he just go there? Releasing the weight of the past, limiting beliefs, releasing them, and the judgments frees us to rise up in, he says, faith. I say to rise up in life-affirming faith, which is the mental assertion elevated to the plane of realization. Releasing the weight of past limiting beliefs. And they don't have to just be past limiting beliefs. Just let's release limiting beliefs, period, right here, right now. As they show up, I release. As it shows up, I notice and release. The judgments that show up, the criticisms, because then we are set free, free from and free to then move into that plane of realization, that plane that says, I am now living on purpose. I am living with purpose. I am living in alignment with my core values. And because I am living this divine way, my life is changed. And because my life is changed and I navigate life this way, other lives are also impacted and changed as well. So once again, if I ask, what are those core values? How are they the guiding light, the guiding lamp, the lighthouse that is leading the way? Or are they're back there. There's some, I got to go into the basement and look in the old, the storage chest and, got to go out to my pod and look in there because, they're in some little boxes and bins because I don't really bring my core values to the forefront of my life. I only bring them out when it's necessary to bring them out. I only bring my divinity out when I need to bring it out. I only bring meditation out when I need to bring it out. Well, considering what's going on in the world, don't we need it all the time? What the world needs now is love, sweet love. Not just, I only love people when I have to. Well, but if you're made in the image and likeness of love, you are the living embodiment of it, then love is all the time. Joy is all the time. Joy just doesn't cometh in the morning. Love, joy, the integrity, the courage of the universe is present in, through, and as each and every one of us right here and right now. So how do we live, move, and have our beingness in this way? Because it is often said, do what is right, not what is easy. See, it is easy to judge and criticize self and others. It is easy to criticize. It is easy to not accept a compliment or praise. It's easy. It's more challenging to accept it. What is right is to accept the praise, accept the kudos, accept this person's blessing to say, you are an amazing and beautiful and talented person. Ooh, that is what is right. It is what is righteous. It is what is divine. They are declaring your truth. So while it may not be easy to accept it, it is the right thing to do. And as we receive, we are then able to also give. Receive the joy, and I give joy. Receive love, and I can give love. Receive the blessing, and I can give the blessing. But when we're in a state of, this old thing, and we dismiss the blessing, then more than likely, even when we think we are blessing another, it's still way down. It's almost like if Leah said, Ray, do me a favor, hit a G note. G. No, that's not a G, right? Ah, that sure as heck ain't a G, right? I'm hitting a note though. I'm giving a blessing, but it's not in the key that it could be. The invitation. Identify, 4 top values that you have and how those values are related to the key areas of your life. Ask yourself, how did I develop my current values? And how do my values inform my activities in the world? John C. Maxwell says, your core values are the deeply held beliefs that authentically describe your soul. So what are they and how do they outpicture? Do you value playfulness? Do you value nature? Do you value health and well-being? Do you value balance? Do you value freedom, commitment, collaboration, imagination? Do you value these things? Are they core values? How do they show up? How are they invited to show up? Breathe. Because I know I'm throwing a lot at you. I know. I only got a certain number of minutes to sing my song. This is not an opera. Okay, so in looking at your values, identify where and how your life might be aligned in both non-life affirming ways and life affirming ways. See, for example, love in a life affirming way is caring and supportive. It is without conditions. But love, per the Greeks, love that is non-life affirming shows up as mania, right? Shows up as obsession, which we know outpictures as jealousy. And we know what jealousy can do. So the energy, the spectrum. So we're invited to lean into the life affirming side of the spectrum. How are our values showing up? In life affirming ways, especially when we are challenged more so. This guy, you may have heard of him, Jesus, made a couple of statements regarding this idea of love, and he said something to the effect of, paraphrasing, it's easy to love people when people are nice to you. I don't know why I'm giving him this accent, but it works. It's easy to love people when they're nice to you. It's easy to love people when they're feeding you, when they're clothing you, when they're taking care of you, when they're laughing with you, when they're friendly to you. It's easy to love them. It's more challenging to love those who do not like you, those who choose to pass laws that operate against you. It's easier to love when you have support. It's not so easy when they want to erode the very foundation of your life. But love nonetheless, not simply because it's easy, but because it's right. As Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. would say, the time to do what is right is always now. So, there's this book that we in CSL typically refer to, the Science of Mind textbook. So do we realize that the Science of Mind textbook and the teaching itself are meant to be a living document? This is why we talk about, I say open at the bottom as well, but this is why we talk about and we are encouraged to be open at the top and open at the bottom. We are called to be the space and the energy of this cosmic goodness and greatness and grandness. We are called to be it, not just in our mind space and think let us pontificate about what it means. We are meant to embody it, to navigate life as. It's not a coat we put on and off. We don't put our divinity on and off. It's always there because God is always there. As Meister Eckhart said, between me and God, there is no between. There is only that which is God. So the textbook offers us, the teaching offers us this way of being the space and the energy of the infinite, global, measureless, inclusive, universal wonderment of life itself. And this call is also found in how we push the boundaries of the status quo, how we love and care, how we show life-affirming faith when it's not easy, but it's right, how we shift the collective consciousness. Breathe. Because that's our invitation. If we want to truly live a life led by values, we must know what the values are. We must allow ourselves to be led by those values, to be led by peacefulness, to be led by nature consciousness, to be led by our divinity, to be led by principle, not precedent. We can't simply sit back and follow the rules of an inhumane world, of a status quo that does not understand what it truly is. But when we break the mold of the collective consciousness by doing our individual work, and then when two and more are gathered in the name and the nature of this infinite goodness, greatness, and grandness, because there is only one mind, what happens in any individualized expression of the one mind is happening in the absolute of the one mind, which means on some level, on some degree, it is happening in every mind. So never think that the work you do when you meditate isn't affecting the planet. Never think that when you recycle, it is not affecting the planet. Never allow yourself to go to that place of, it's just me. There's nothing that you are the infinite expression of the divine and are far more powerful than you understand, far more powerful than you give yourself credit to be. And yet you are that which God is in expression. Between you and God, there is no between. Value that oneness. Value that unity. Value that harmonious divinity that is breathing itself as you. And love yourself through it all. Namaste.
Well, I must say, Ray, I was so wrapped in your sharing and holding on to the hopes of a led meditation by you that I will continue to grow from what you shared. And this is the song that is inspired in response. And I would invite everyone who would like to sing along. My hands are strong enough, they're strong enough, I'm good enough. My hands are strong enough to give love. My hands are strong enough, they're strong enough, I'm good enough. My hands are strong enough to give love. I know that I am strong enough to give love. I'm here for love. I know that I am strong enough to give love. I'm here for love. My hands are strong enough, they're strong enough, I'm good enough. My hands are strong enough to give love. Every day, every hour, I am filled with power. I'm strong enough to give love. Every day, every hour, I am filled with power. I'm strong enough to give love. Every day, every hour, I am filled with power. I'm strong enough to give love. I know that my hands are strong enough to love. I'm here for love. I know that my hands are strong enough to love. I'm here for love. I know that my hands are strong. My hands are here to love. I'm here to my hands are here to. One more time. I know that my hands are strong enough, they're strong enough, I'm good enough. My hands are strong enough to give love.
Oh my goodness, folks, we hit it out of the park today. Thank you so much, Reverend Dr. Ray Anderson. It is always, always a thrill when you join us. And Leah, wow, thank you. Leah, I was almost like you. I was so caught up in that song, I had to like go, oh yeah, that's right, I'm gonna have to speak next. This is what happens, guys, when you take us into that amazing zone of the divine. And thank you, Kristen, also for our meditation. So, folks, now is the time to bless the donations that are shared with us today. As you heard in our opening video, we believe in the law of circulation. We practice what we preach. It's one of our core values. So we are a tithing community. The donations that you share bless everyone, those who give and those who receive. Like Dr. Reverend Anderson said, man, it just flows like that. So your donation helps our center, our home organization at CSL, and all the organizations that support our vision for helping us to create a world that works for everyone. Please look at the screen. I am sure you've already found a way to give. And with that, I'm going to move into our blessing of the gifts, our oneness affirmation. Kind of ties in with everything we talked about today. So please join me. The presence of spirit within me blesses everyone I meet, tends to heal everything I touch, brings gladness into the life of everyone I contact. Therefore, I am a blessing to myself, to humankind, and to the day in which I live, and so it is. Oh my goodness. All right. I'm not sure if we have any announcements. Is there anything going on? Let's check it out. Well, sure, there's Dream Study. So next Saturday, join Charlene and her friends as they talk about their dreams, share, interpret their dreams. We know that we're always getting messages. Our subconscious doesn't go to sleep just because our body does. And sometimes we can interpret what our dreams are telling us, and sometimes we need a little help. So next Sunday on the 18th of May, at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, join Charlene and her friends for Dream Study. Always a popular event. All right, folks. So odds are you might have something that you're doing today. Once again, we thank you for taking time out of your day to join us. If you can, hang around after our service. We do something called Pearls, which is where we share a little something that we got from the message or from the music, from the meditation. I'm always jotting notes. I got my core values written down. I even got some quotes that I found inspirational that I wanted to remember. So if you can stay, we'll do our pearls. We'll hang out with each other. If you have to go, please know that we understand and we send you off with our love and blessing. But first, let us do our closing affirmation. And Reverend Dr. Ray, this one's for you, buddy. This is sign language for love, right? Yeah, yeah. So please join me by doing that as you do our first part of our affirmation and say, I am love.
I am
I
love.
am love.
Thank you. I love to hear you guys. All right. Send this message off to someone who might be with you in the room, somebody who might be far, far away. We know that we are all connected. We know that we can send things out and that people just, wait a minute. I think that somebody just thought of me. Somebody just sent me a little love. You might put a smile on their heart. So let's send this out. You are
love.
You are
You
love.
are love.
You are
You
love.
are love.
Oh, you guys, see, I felt that. I really did. I don't know if you were sending to me or not, but it all just moves. It moves. It moves. All right, folks, let's do one more. Put your hands up in the air. Join me with It's All Love. Here we go. You ready? It's all
All
love.
love. Let it be all love.
all wonderful. So, like I said, if you have to leave us, we're sending you off with our love, with our blessings, and our gratitude. Thank you so much for joining us today. And if you'd stay and hang out, please do. We'd love to chat with you. All right. We'll see you next Sunday.
And we're clear.
Woohoo! Yes.